We'll go into the detailed spec of it and also explain to you a bit about what the plans for the future are. Things are still going to change because it's ever evolving. So I hope you enjoy the video. So before I go into too much detail about the spec, this was originally a 2015 GT Avalanche Sport 650B size large. I've had it a couple of years now. Bought it as standard from the shop for $399.99. That was just as it came out in start of 2015, and since then it's been constantly evolving to what it's become today. I bought the bike initially when my eldest son's stabilisers came off. It saved running around after him. I thought I'll get myself a budget bike. It didn't look anything like this. I'll put some pictures up now of what it did look like. And then obviously it snowballs from there and it's become what it is today, and it's still evolving now. So I didn't have the money to buy anything to the spec that I've got this to now. I haven't seen an Avalanche, GT Avalanche, anywhere near the spec of this, so I do believe it's possibly the highest spec GT Avalanche that you will see anywhere. I've not seen them on the internet, nothing, so I'll get the camera a bit closer now and we'll go through exactly what I've done to it over the past 2 years.
So starting off with the frame, as I said, it didn't originally start out its life as this. It was sort of multicoloured. It was black, so a bit of fluoro green, a bit of sky blue on it. This paint now is a custom paint job. It's a candy blue. You might be able to just see where the light hits it. It's not a heavy candy, but it does have an effect on it in different lights. You get different shade of blue almost from this paint. It was powder coated. It cost me £40 to have powder coated. I'll pop some pictures up on the screen now to show you what it looked like before and the process I went through to strip it. I chemically stripped it initially. It was then sandblasted, which I wouldn't recommend at all, to be honest with you. I'll go into that later. So yeah, the 650B size large frame, aluminium with the trademark triple triangle that you see on the majority of GT bikes. It's the only original part on it, and obviously the paint is now completely different. So yeah, we've got the custom paint on the 650B aluminium frame, triple triangle, size large. It was a 20 Avalanche 15 Sport model. As I said, the paint is now custom. I've moved the camera to a different angle so you aren't getting so much light glare, and that really shows up when you have got slight candy in the paint.
So one of the first parts I changed on this bike was the wheels, partly because of the Ulterra wheel set that GT put on the bike. The spokes suddenly all started to come undone at one time, and I was looking to upgrade. I had a friend who owned a bike shop who'd got these Maverick Crossrock 650B wheels on his bike that he was selling, so I got a good deal on those, and they've been absolutely brilliant. It's a full Mavic wheel, spokes and hub. We'll just move in now for a closer look. So as you can see, the Mavic Crossrock hubs, they have been serviced a couple of times since I'm having. Considering I do a lot of road miles, well, a lot of miles in general, it's day-to-day use this bike, I've had no real problems with them whatsoever. And I don't know if you can see close up, these are the sort of bladed style spokes. Now, because my bike's kept indoors, it does get jet washed, but only the tyres, so I can park it in my house without fluffing everywhere up. So I have slightly damaged the stickers, the Maverick Crossrock stickers, but these are available on the internet, so will be replaced soon. Tyres, I've been running Maxxis Ardents now for the whole year really. They've got a nice centre line. I can move in closer and show you. They have got a nice centre line for low rolling resistance, but they are really good grippy tyres as well. So yeah, I've stuck with these tyres all year round, been absolutely brilliant. They are tubeless, and inside there I've got some Joe's tyre sealant. moving up to the cockpit, I've got the Nukeproof Warhead carbon fibre bars onto the Hope stem with the Hope spacers, and I've gone for the X2 brakes, levers, calipers, and I've got the floating rotors in there, perfect for what I need. They've got the adjustable reach and the bike point control on there, and I also went for the extra few pound for the braided hose kit, which I think finishes it off really well. Again, I've got more Hope, so we've got the Hope stem, Hope top cap, and the Hope bolt there through the top. Now the headset, because this is a straight steerer frame and I've got tapered forks, I've put a Hope EC44 external cup kit on, so I can put these tapered forks into the straight steerer, and as the forks go, these are the Fox Evolution CTD. I chose these because they have the 3 settings, so you've got climb, trail and descend. Mine is generally set to trail on the majority of the time. Again, I didn't go for the cash cam coating, didn't need to, these have been absolutely fine. Also, you can obviously adjust the pressure in them. This is your rebound adjust, so you can set the speed that they rebound. Now moving on to the gears. This was 27 speed, I've gone 110, and I've chose to go for XT, which is a bit budget really compared to the rest of the bike, and maybe something that I do upgrade in the future. And this is basically an Amazon phone holder I like. You can attach it to the bolt if you've got a standard one, have it as your headset bolt. Can't obviously on this. You can have it landscape or portrait. I like it landscape, have it angled, and I can film where I'm going using my mobile phone. Now I'm moving down to the back, I've got the Nukeproof seat, not particularly comfortable on the cheeks, but I like the fact that it's got the channel down the middle, because that's where I was suffering mainly, and that's on a race face seat post. Again, we've got the Hope quick release bolt. Moving down to the back, XT again. This might get upgraded, I'm not sure, I don't really need to. It's rock solid, it's been bulletproof. What I will just show you, bear with me, I've also got the Hope jockey wheels. Now the cassette on the back of there isn't standard either. It's an 11 to 42 tooth Sunrace, because I wanted to add some range back in. I've also gone for the Hope crank, and that's a 36 tooth chainring. It's brilliant Hope cranks, lovely, there's nothing you could really bad say about. And then I've got the Hope F20 pedals. Did have an issue with these, they do keep needing filling full of grease, and when I contacted Hope and said one of them's clicking, they said take the end cap out, overfill it full of grease, put the end cap until it's oozing, but you do seem to have to do that pretty regular. Now I'll just flip the bike round so you can have a look at the other side, so I can show you what I decided to do with the rotors. So yeah, like I said, I went for the Hope X2 full brake system with the braided hoses. The rotors, I went for 180mm front and rear. I don't do a lot of trail riding or any, seriously technical riding, so I didn't feel I needed to. So yeah, we've got the X2 Hope brake system on there. Again, 180mm rotor on the front. These are absolutely brilliant. Now I didn't go for the smaller and the larger like some people do, simply because you've got the bike control point and the reach point on the lever themselves. You can see here, get it to focus. So that's your reach, your bike control point. So if you do want to vary, make a difference between the front and the back, you can do. This is a little trick of mine. This is a bit of foam packaging that actually the Hope crank came in, and it's just held on with a couple of tail ties. Before you can see the damage it was doing, it won't create any more damage, and this is going to get touched up. That is luckily. So that's where you'd adjust your pressure in your forks when you're setting your sag. But yeah, all around it's been a brilliant bike for me. only fault with anything Hope would be the pedals, and the fact that the clicking issue means you've got to keep on refilling it with grease. I don't actually know where the grease is going, but there's never any in there. If you are going to buy the Hope crankset, it will come with the toolkit, but I still recommend, even if you're pretty good with bikes, take it to the shop to get it fitted. I followed the instructions in the manual and the videos on YouTube, and it just wasn't right. I took it to the shop that don't deal with Hope. They couldn't get it right. I took it to an expert in Hope, and eventually got it sorted for me. So yeah, that's the bike that I'm using. The only things I may upgrade on this are the Mechan shifter. Although it doesn't need it, it might as well be done at some point, just to bring it up to the spec of the rest of the bike. I do have a fun seat. I've swapped between this and a fun seat post, which has got a bit more flex than this for the longer distance riding, and that's got an SDGI fly, so I'll swap between them at time to time. Give me your opinion. I've scratched the frame, which is why I've got GoPro stickers on covering it up. I don't know whether they go for the same candy blue again, a matte black, or even a red. I'm not sure. You decide. Put it in the comments below. I will listen, because I've been trying to work it out myself for such a long time now. I've chopped and changed my mind numerous times. So tell me what you think. Is this the most expensive GT Avalanche Sport you've ever seen? If you've seen anything of a higher spec than this, it's got to be the GT Avalanche. Pop it in the comments, let me know. I do get quite a lot of grief about spending so much money on this bike, because people say at the end of the day, Phil, it's just a GT, but if I took all these parts off and put on any other frame, it would be a high spec bike. Like I say, I have looked for other frames to replace this with, Stantons and that kind of thing, but I don't need to. I'll put the weight in the description below, as well as the full spec of everything I've got on here. I don't think I've missed anything. The only actual original parts on this bike are these, and the reason I haven't upgraded them to any new ones, which I should have mentioned earlier, originally I chemically stripped this, but the powder coaters sandblasted it and took all my threads out, so I wouldn't recommend having an aluminium frame sandblasted. So thanks for watching the video. Let me know what you think of the bike, let me know if I've gone too far, and let me know if you can think of another frame I could replace this for in the future. Like I say, I don't need to, but it is something I'm looking at. It's been rock solid for me. It's just, my bike doesn't get any love because it's all based around the GT frame, so I am sort of being peer pressured into considering changing my frame over. So yeah, thanks for watching. Next video, cycling wise, is going to be the Macclesfield Canal from the Harecastle Tunnel, and that'll be in a couple of days time. So if you're into cycling, look out for that. Thanks for watching, stay safe and enjoy your rides.